There's more, folks. This is Acid Roots. We're going to talk about 3-6 Mafia. Now, hopefully you know about these cats, and I think for the most part, most people do, but this is one of their earliest things that they have done. And so, I like them, and I feel as if just the sheer amount of things that they have done is definitely something that you need to check out. I mean, they have over 10 albums that they've produced. There's so much for you to find. And on top of that, they've got kin, they've got people on their label, so you're going to be able to listen to some of that. Really, the last time I've touched on something from Hypnotized Minds was probably when I reviewed Lil White. So I want to get channels coming in, almost like fingers. Like if this is Tech Nine, this is 3-6 Mafia, this is ICP. I want all people to connect to the arm. And what that essentially is going to be is, just doing this sort of thing. So obviously I like this album quite a bit. It's really like misty, almost foggy. It's a real fog ridden release, meaning it doesn't have immediate hits like you may have heard from them. Some of their later records, this is just this is I'm trying to think of the correct word for it. Intoxicating. I want to come up with a more complicated word, but that's pretty much the best word to describe it. It's intoxicating to the point where you're not even going to realize that you're having fun with this record when you do. It's just going to be on. Supposing you have a smoke session, you're going to be like, what is this? And that's the purpose. It is, these guys are coherent. DJ Paul, Juicy J, all of the 3-6 Mafia crew, they're coherent despite the fact that they don't have anything positive to say. So, can you smoke to this? And the answer is, of course, yes, you can. Now I'm High, Sweet Robbery, Porno Movie, Tear the Club Up, Long Night. These are some good smoking records. I'd probably say In the Game's another one. Break the Law. Production, like I said, this is the part of it that is so different, is just because I lost my train of thought. Just refer to what I said earlier. It has something that puts a spell over you, but it kind of is confusing because it's hard to figure out why you like it. I just do. It's got a very eerie sound to it, and that's the Mystic Stylez of it. It's called Mystic Stylez. I actually have the 2001 version of it, but so it's just gonna confuse you as to why these beats are so good. I mean, it's not produced by Dr. Dre. It's not produced by Lil Jon. It doesn't have like a crunk or a G-funk sound to it. This is different. It's hard to categorize that. The unheard songs. There are 16 songs on this release and one intro, so that makes 15. And I liked 9 out of 15. So the 9 songs I liked were Fucking With This Click, Now I'm High, Break the Law, Sweet Robbery, In the Game, The Summer, Porno Movie, Tear the Club Up, and Long Night. Now I'll talk about a few of these highlights. Tear the Club Up, that one's really kind of lean. I think people will like that one. If you're just looking for dark club records, something that is kind of the antonym to a pop, a club, a poppy club song, that's one of them. I feel like In the Game is another one, and probably Sweet Robbery. And they're pretty much gravelly type people. You get Now I'm High, you get Break the Law, these sorts of records. I mean, you're just gonna have a good time. It has a lifestyle attached to it, and I know I say that a lot, but if you're just looking to know how Juicy J lived 20 years ago, this is a good platform for that. It lets you know what he was on when he was 20 and some of the stuff that just goes on in their world. So, it's interesting. And most importantly, it's just the fact that an album of this caliber came out in 1995, because most people had not fucked with crunk at all by this point. So this is a shining album, believe it. This is like the Chronic of Southern rap almost. It's not quite that good, but it's definitely one of the ones you need to check. It's an originator. So I recommend this release, and because I like 9 out of 15, I'm going to give this album a 7.5. If it would have had like 2 more, I would have given it a 9, 9.5 or so. But 6 songs is, and just the reason why I didn't like those songs was some of them were too short, and other ones just didn't have better production to keep the pace going. They just kind of sounded like a mess. So the future 3-6 has got releases. DJ Paul dropped a mixtape, and the Mafia 6 has projects out, which I have reviewed. So then the social score, I'm gonna give this an 8 social, just because it's that sort of sound for people who know a little bit more about rap music and are not just taken aback by something that your standard pop rapper says. So it's got some stuff, but just the whole thing about it is it just doesn't have like the breakout things for it. So that's okay. It's still good, but it just doesn't have something to anchor it. So can it be topped? It's not likely. I mean, this is good, but there is better. So just know that. Alright, I give this album a 7.5 and an 8 social. Subscribe for more fun.